And welcome to another TangoStride Seated Movement Session. It's Friday, and that's when we do these every Friday we do a new video. Just want to take a moment and shout out to any of our TangoStride students that are watching. Let us know you're here. And as we get started, we'll get the music going. As we get started, I just want to remind you all that this is designed to be able to be done, to be safe to be done by somebody who would remain seated the whole time. So if you have mobility issues or balance issues, then this is something that you can stay seated for the whole time. If you feel that it's safe or if you have somebody there to help you, and of course I can't see you so I can't determine that, you're going to have to decide for yourself, but if you feel like it's safe to stand and try some of these movements, then you're welcome to do that as well. I'll stay seated. I encourage you to stay seated the whole time and put on some music. A tango valse. We can start with our balloon guy, and I like to use the music as the wind. So you know the balloon guys at the used car dealerships, and they'll be kind of flopping around in the wind. And then all of a sudden some air blows through them and they fill up. And let it go. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit here. I want to encourage you to try to fill in the center of your balloon and then expand out. So in this next one, I'm going to start by filling in my belly. Find a place in the music that makes sense. Belly, chest, and then see if you can expand. You don't have to do, I'm just trying to show you how I'm doing that. But I'm thinking like, fill in my belly, chest, and then out, and let it go. On this next one, just again, really, if you haven't seen any of our other videos, then not again, but for anybody that's new or anybody who's been here before, I really encourage you to modify and adapt and do what you can. Start from where you can or what you can do and then go from there. So as we work on expanding our arms out more in this next fill up our balloon, if your arm's just moving a little bit, then that's a win. So just from where you're at, a little bit more. So let's find a place with the music that makes sense to you. It feels right. Try to stretch out as big as you can. Let's take up space and let it go. We don't do anybody any favors by trying to shrink. We need to take up our space because that just tells everybody else where we are and helps them define where they are too. It's good. It's how we express ourselves. Let's do one more out. All right, this next one, let's go up. And same feeling of like fill in and stretch up. And don't worry about holding it. I'm a little crazy balloon guy today. Up and let it go. Let's do one more up and then we'll do our twist to the side. All right, this next one we're going to expand out and then try to twist our shoulders and our arms. Oh, felt nice. I always want to do things from one side and then the other. And I encourage you to try to do movements to both sides, even if they're different on each side. Try to feel what that difference is, but we do want to work towards symmetry because we're designed to be symmetrical, and sometimes things get, off even just a little bit, and we'll feel the difference. So we're just trying to work towards symmetry. Not that any of us are actually exactly symmetrical, but I encourage you to try everything to both sides. All right, really, let's fill in and twist to the side. It's helping me get the air out. And let's go the other way. Like if you twisted a balloon and it wasn't closed, you'd probably get the air out, right? All right, let's fill in and twist. Run out of space here, but I hope you have enough room. Alright. And speaking of taking up space, let's talk about our crown, or just remind ourselves of our crown. So put that crown on your head, sit nice and tall. Try to make your neck long, so from your shoulders to your ears, see how much space you can get, and then your crown goes up. And to do that, actually, let's do a couple of things with the crown and the lengthening of your neck. So one, let's scoot our seat bones, and you can do this without holding on, or you can hold on to your chair armrest. Just scoot to a place where you can sit right on top of your sit bones. You can even put your hands under your sit bones to feel them, but right on top of your sit bones so you can really sit up. That's your base. If you were standing, your feet would be your base, and then it would go to your pelvis and then up. So this is still an important spot, even if you were standing, that as you're sitting, this is our base, right? Our feet touching the floor is good too, but this is where our spine sits. So stretching nice and tall. And now let's do some work with our shoulders. So we are working on making our neck long, but sometimes it's helpful to work on doing the opposite and then feeling the difference. So let's shrug our shoulders up now and then release them. We'll do this a few times with the music. Now, most of us don't shrug our shoulders up this high, but we might be kind of holding some tension. So we want to release your shoulders. Imagine your shoulder blades are kind of just coming down your back, and then bring them up to your ears and let them go. Up to your ears and let them go. All right, now another thing to think about to support your crown on your head and support your posture is the sit bones. So I got to readjust them every once in a while. If you feel yourself sinking in, readjust, and that's totally fine. We're going to be moving, right? That's the whole thing. We're dynamic. So and to me, posture is not about like stand like this and then hold it, right? Because then we have other problems from tension. So it's really about building habits, building good habits. So when you notice yourself kind of slumping down, sit up again. Let's do a little belly work. I think I mentioned this a couple of times in our other videos. So I'm no belly work expert. I just took a couple of classes with the amazing Kendra Hayes, who's a belly dance teacher and belly dancer, and it just showed me some awareness of my stomach. So if you are looking to get to know your stomach muscles, check out some belly dance teachers. I'm sure they're doing some online stuff now too with the COVID thing. So let's just work on a few different parts of our belly muscles by moving our belly button. And I'm putting my hands on my belly because to me it really helps to feel the muscles. And that actually, for any part of the body that you're trying to move, it can be helpful, I think, to touch that part of the body or have some reference. Again, like us taking up space, it's like a reference point of where we are and where our muscles are. So I'm going to put my hands on my belly, and maybe, you know what, maybe I'm going to skip to a slower song because I feel like I'm trying to keep up with the valse, and here we go. Okay, a little more time to work on the belly because the music is important, right? Okay, so belly button out and belly button in. So we're just going in and out. Just nice and easy. Out, belly button in. Keep breathing as you do this. Belly button out, belly button in. Do you feel your belly moving in and out? Mine's going really pretty slow, but speaking of pace, again, slow things down, or if you're feeling like like you want to speed them up, that's fine too. Find a pace that feels good for you. I do encourage you, especially when you're doing something that's challenging or new, to keep it slow and challenge yourself to slow it down even more, because then you have the time to build the awareness. Okay, now in and out for me feels like doable, but up and down, that was a little weird the first time I did it, and I haven't really been practicing these. So, but let's try to move our belly button up. So see what you can do with your belly muscles to shift your belly button up. And it might not actually like go for a walk up your, to your like ribs, but just try to imagine you're lifting it up, because that engages muscles here, your upper abs. So I'm just going up and release. Do the same thing but down. So you're going to push your belly button down and then let it come back. Push it down. I feel like I did this the other day and it wasn't as challenging, but today I'm having a little challenge. But in your own body, feel, is your belly button moving? Can you move it down just a little bit and then bring it back? Okay, so just some kind of fun, and then I don't know. Let's do it actually. Okay, so then the challenge that we did in Kendra's class was to move our belly button kind of in a circle, or our belly muscles in a circle. But I like to use the belly button as a reference. So you could go in, up, out, down. Whoo, in, up, out, down. As one of my good friends Leah once told me, if your stomach hurts, it can be good to try to roll it. So this might be a good thing to do if you're feeling your belly's hurting, or like just to kind of get things moving a little bit. Little belly rolls. And you could reverse the direction. So now I'm going down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in. Ooh, keep that crown. I just noticed my shoulders and neck, out, in. All right, so to support yourself to sit taller or stand taller, it can be really good to engage these muscles right here, I've found. I mean, our core will help hold us, but I like the idea of these muscles right between the ribs. So just like that's where I focus, like in Pilates, they'll focus there, these muscles right here. So that's why it also can be helpful to do different movements of the belly. Anyway, that was also just because I thought it might be fun. I like it. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments. I also want to know, because I try to throw in something new each time. So let me know what you really like and you want to make sure we keep. Let's do a little work with our hands. Let's see. We haven't done the with our hands and our wrists. Let's just hold your hands together, clasp them, and interweave your fingers. Now, if you have a lot of tone in one hand and you have trouble doing that, then see if you can just hold your hands together. Or if one arm, you're not moving much, just pick it up with the other hand. So however is comfortable for you, hold your hands together, and let's just make a little circle. We'll check your sit bones and that crown. Or you can again clasp your fingers. If you're clasping your fingers, let's clasp the other way, so the other thumb in front, and change the direction. Good to get some movement in those wrists, especially if you're doing anything that involves your fingers a lot, like typing and kind of holding one position, or writing a lot. It's good to get some movement and circulation through those wrists. I switch directions again and go back again. You can kind of change directions on your own timing. Speaking of timing, time goes so fast. Couple of things I want to make sure we get in here. Let's see, let's do some work now with our ankles, because just like moving our wrists, it's important to get some circulation in our ankles too. Especially if you're sitting a lot and not getting up and able to stand much, or maybe you're working at a desk, as one of our supporters said, and you're not getting up to move much. If you are able to get up and move, I would recommend you do that once in a while. But let's get some work in with our ankles. So, how did I want to do this? Oh, let's imagine that you're trying to like put out a little flame, like a little ash or something. I guess cigarette, but I don't smoke. I hope you guys don't smoke, but anyway, won't get into that. But imagine that you're trying to put it out with your foot. So you kind of just, I'm just sort of pivoting my heel, ends up being kind of like the twist. I'm just kind of pivoting my heel. And then let's do the other foot. I'm just gonna like I'm trying to just put a little fire out, or maybe squish a bug. Sorry, bugs. I built a little compost thing outside. I'm really excited. That's one place I'm okay with bugs. They can live out there. I'm very happy with that. Not in the house, please. Now let's make circles with our heels. So for me, this means I'm gonna lift my knee too, because as I make a circle with my heel, yes, this is on the video, my little lion slippers. Now, if you're having trouble making that big a movement, then try to imagine a really small circle. Even if you don't pick your foot up off the floor, just a little tiny, tiny circle. That works too. All right, let's change the direction. So I was going this way. Now I'm gonna go inward. Inward, a little tiny circle. Or you can start with small circle and then start making it bigger. If that feels like you're able to do that, then go ahead. And again, if you're starting small, it's still a step in the right direction, right? To get a little more mobility. All right, let's switch feet. So I'm gonna go outward, just a little circle with my heel. I'm going up and out. And speaking of slowing it down, if you are struggling with this movement, then you could try to think of 4 directions. Inward, upward, outward, down. In, up, out, down. It's kind of hard to coordinate my hand and my leg. And then let's go the other way. Inward. All right, speaking of lifting our knees, and engaging our abs here, because this is all, if we want to lift our knee, it's all like shortening the front part of our body. So I'm going to go just a couple minutes more. I know I said 20 minutes, so I'm just going to go a little bit more. See if you can lift your knee. Now, even if you're having trouble lifting it, like we were working with a student the other day where she was just lifting a little bit, that to me is a win. So we want to start small, start wherever you're at. And it can be helpful, engage your abs, and then also you can hold on to your chair or armrest, or you can actually help lift your leg. That's another way to do it. But think engage those abs and pull your knee up. Also think push the floor with the other leg to kind of like lift the other knee. So we got some options, but we call this a pia, pia, and that's from Gus. Then let's go to the other side, pia. We can do a few on the same side. Again, you can hold on to your chair. Think about engaging those abs, almost like you're pulling your leg up. Pia. And then let's switch sides back and forth. Pia, 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 pia. I feel that when I engage my abs, I even, feel a little work on the abs. It's good. All right, now a little more of a challenge if you want. You can touch the opposite knee. Pia, pia. And I don't know about you. Try it, let me know. But the sound effects, I think, help. And I've heard that from my students, our TangoStride students. Pia, pia. Another challenge would be to lift your feet up off the ground. Then you really feel it in the abs. So we got options. Pia, 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 pia. You kind of turn into a bicycle. Pia. All right, one last thing as this song kind of winds down. Since we've been working the front, engaging the front part of our body, let's stretch backwards too. So you can do this with your arms to the side, or hands next to you, or hands in your lap, wherever it feels good. You can hold on to your chair, but let's try to, like, imagine you've got that plane straight up and down. Now we're going to try to open our chest. I'd like to pull on the chair to give me a little more of a stretch. Speaking of chair, you could hold on to your back, the back of the chair, to help you stretch. Or another way to do it would be to open your arms. If you got your arms open wide, you can think about bringing your hands through. Imagine there's a wall behind you. Hey, there's a wall. No, but a wall that's like the plane where you are. And try to push your hands through that plane. I have to bend this arm because I'm running out of space here. But just try and bring your arms back behind you to open all of this, since we oftentimes kind of start going this way. All right. And maybe we'll shorten this last song because I totally went over. I got really into it today. I'm going to skip this to the middle. We're about a minute to wind down. Let's dance with our hips. And turn it up so we can get into it. How about our elbows? Somebody said dance with your ears in one of our classes this week. And we were talking about long ears and neck, right? So. What does dancing with your ears look like for you? How about dancing with our knees? Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope that you've enjoyed the seated movement session, and let's do a big group hug. This is how we finish all of our TangoStride classes. A big group hug for everybody that's doing the seated movement session with us today. And speaking of actually our TangoStride classes, we're starting to do video TangoStride classes. So if you're interested in that, check out our website. I'll update it today at TangoStride.com. A big group hug to everybody that's doing the seated movement session with us today. I hope you're taking good care of yourselves and each other. And see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.